Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? He said, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. And I pushed the hands off me and I said, pray for what? That nigga dead.
The second time in 6 months, a star in the often brutal world of gangster rap has been gunned down. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast?
Great. Oprah. J-Lo. A-Rod. Will Smith. Alicia Keys. Look at some pretty hair. Black King God, dude. Justin Bieber. Kevin Hart. Mark Wahlberg. Snoop. DJ Khaled. Swiss Beats. Kelly Rowland. Chris Brown. Maluma. Sheree. Sierra. Janelle Monáe. Yeah, that's my sis right there. Lizzo. Megan Thee Stallion. J Balvin. Naomi Campbell. That's your auntie. Yes, Naomi Campbell's your auntie. No, she's a superstar. Well, let's get back to the list. Okay, Jessica Alba.
Just like Weinstein, Diddy is rumored to have a list from TD Jakes to DJ Khaled to Prince Harry. Diddy has reportedly experienced it all.
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Albie Shore, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
According to Gene, there's a full list of Diddy's go-to men who visited his mansion for the infamous freak-off sessions. And it's not just any list. You'd be surprised by the names on what's reportedly called the hit list.
So first we lined up parallel to the door in which they have to come out, right? You follow me?
Yep.
All right, we lined up parallel to where the doors they have to come out. So if they come out right here, the car's right there. They're right there. So then Big is taking his time because his fibula bones and his thighs are broken or whatever like that. They fractured or whatever. So it's taking him a long time to come out. So he says to me, Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, how the f you gonna try to tell me how to do my job? He said, Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car. As I go to get in the car, this motherfucker reached down and let his seat all the way back. So now I gotta put my legs sideways. I'm like, yo, what the f is you doing? And so then Kenny said, you ready? He said, you ready? I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. Kenny said, for what? I said, motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm gonna drive. Fuck. Next thing you know, you hear it say, pow! Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. 5 or 6 cars were like, pop, 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 pop. Right? Fuck. Kenny guns the car going forward. I said, Kenny, what the f is you doing? He said, they shooting at Big. He said, we don't know who they shooting at. He then goes up the block, stops, and do this 3-point, something like that, U-turn, comes back. And as we coming back, we see the guy turning the corner from the corner. He was parked on the corner because there's no way he could have got on the side unless his car was already parked there. You understand what I'm saying?
Take a look.
I walk in the hospital, Puff coming running out the back door, and he grabbed my arms. He grabbed both of my arms because they was giving the people in the hospital a lot of problems because now fans and people in there who the entourage like that, I was like, yo, y'all get the f out this hospital right now. Now I'm in my beast mode. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody, you know, I hate to be like that because it's hard to come back from that. And that always got me in a lot of trouble. But Puff grabbed me both of my arms. He said, Gene, we gotta pray, we gotta pray. And I pushed that hands off me and I said, pray for what? That nigga dead.
Of all the names on the so-called hit list, Notorious BIG is likely the one that stings the most. According to Gene, Notorious BIG wasn't killed in a drive-by shooting. Gene denies this common belief, claiming the car that killed Biggie had been waiting for him all night. He states that while every Biggie movie portrays it as a drive-by, a witness confirmed the car was parked at the corner, likely there the entire night.
When we pulled him out the car, and I know people going, you know, because you know how the internet is. Yo, you didn't have to say that. When he had soiled himself, let me just put that way, and I grabbed him, and you had the stent, I dropped his leg, man. It's like all my strength had left my body. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard somebody say, Gene, what you doing? And I just grabbed him. And we put him up on that damn stretcher. That's a lot of dead weight, bro. I think they got one of those bad boy niggas. They said they was gonna get him. I said, they said they was gonna do what? And then Paul come running down the street. Yo, Gene, we about to go, we got to go. What are you doing down here? So I looked at Quick looked at me. I went away. I went, ran up the street with them, got in the car. Puff got in the car with Big. He was sitting behind Big, right? D-Rock had came back because they all had ran down the block once Big got shot. All that shit say we was behind the truck, we was a lie because you guys come running down the block because D-Rock was like, yo, they shot my man, they got my man. And Puff got in behind Big, and I said to Puff, whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. Don't let him go to sleep. Whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. And Kenny jumped in their car because he said he knew where the hospital was at. And now Tone was driving our car. So Puff said, Kenny, you know what the hospital is? He said, yeah, I know where the hospital is. And Big, he said, yo, Big, I'm gonna get you to the hospital. Big, I'm gonna get you to the hospital. And Big said, just do it before I close the door.
Currently, the ex-bodyguard has spoken out in a fiery interview, criticizing the lies he claims are being shown in interviews and documentaries. He believes that, if anything, Diddy should be held accountable.
We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bull, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this, because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, Y'all want the I'm gonna put him out the pasture. Catch him if you can. If you the wolf if you got that wolf in you, catch him if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album? When you know, not his Nimitz, but your Nimitz was just murdered by niggas that you was running with. Why would you do that? Oh, they just wanted to do business. Business my ass, man. No homo. Cause you know how some of these niggas thinking, right? They hear that. Keep it real, man. Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's house. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast?
According to FBI records, Wallace Notorious BIG was in the passenger seat of a Chevrolet Suburban when a Chevy SS Impala pulled up at a red light and a gunman opened fire. Wallace had just left a party at the Peterson Automotive Museum and died at a nearby hospital less than an hour later. His 2012 autopsy revealed he was shot 4 times. Rumors suggest Diddy may have put a target on Biggie's back, as Biggie was reportedly planning to leave Bad Boy Records to start his own label.
Well, I think that nobody wants anybody to get killed, per se. I don't think unless he's an enemy or something like that. But he knew Big was leaving the label. He said that in Hip Hop Revolution. Is it Hip Hop Evolution or Hip Hop Revolution, something like that? He said that this went and got his own deal, his own. Look at the balls he had. He went and got his own record label, his own deal. He didn't even bring this to Bad Boy. The nerve of him. He tried to laugh and play it off, but that's some serious, because all the money you spent to make this thug life, partying bullshit, partying bullshit artists. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of music Big was doing. Hardcore street type of shit. You made him into the Sochi Big Papa type dude. You understand what I'm saying? You made him into that dude that, yo, the women, no matter how he looked, how big he was, they loved him. All that came from Arista money. All that came from what Arista did. You understand? Under the Bad Boy umbrella. Now he's taking that to a whole nother label, a whole nother company that gave him $60 or $62 million to work with. And he gonna have 5 or 6 artists that he gonna do. So who gonna take that hit? Who gonna take the blame for that? Huh? Big ain't gonna take the blame. Puff gotta take the blame. We spent all this money, but he going making deals elsewhere and not under our umbrella?
Deal recalls the details of that night in March 1997 when Biggie was shot and he had to rescue him as the 25-year-old passed away in his arms. He described pulling the famous rapper from his Suburban, fighting back tears as he remembered that spring night. Biggie had attended the Soul Train Awards after party as part of Bad Boy Records. Deal believes that Puffy could have prevented all of this if it weren't for his anger at the time. As a bodyguard back then, Deal felt powerless to stop it.
Because the LAPD was saying, if you want to know what happened that night, talk to Gene Deal. And she had told Miss Wallace that a couple of times. So Miss Wallace was calling over to Bad Boy saying, I need to get in touch with Gene Deal, the person who was doing security for Puff. So me and Puff had said a long time ago that if anything ever go down, don't tell nobody my name in the whole 9 yards. But if you're gonna tell the LAPD my name, if you're gonna tell the FBI, if you're gonna tell any law enforcement people my name, you understand? You might as well tell Big Mama my name, but he told her he didn't know me. The reason he probably did that was because he knew that I was gonna tell Miss Wallace all what happened. Because he know I exchanged that night. The last time I seen Puff in California before we got in the car and to take him to San Diego is when he grabbed both of my arms. Gene, we gotta pray, we gotta pray. And I pushed that nigga's arms off me and I said, yo, pray for what? That nigga's dead. So that's the last time I saw him, you know, in California. No, because he was in the car with Paul and them and they was going to San Diego to fly right out of California that night.
Meanwhile, in other news, P. Diddy, also known as Honeycomb, is facing legal proceedings in a $30 million lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney Jones. This comes only a few months after court documents revealing notorious figures like Jeffrey Epstein were made public. On February 26th, Jones filed a complaint against Diddy, making serious allegations including grooming, sexual misconduct, and involvement in sex trafficking. The list of individuals mentioned also includes Prince Harry and Young Miami, who are not typically associated with the entertainment industry. The court record identifies notable figures in music history as well, such as Donald Lawrence, the Clark sisters, Cassie Ventura, and Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Well, they busy right now, man, and they told me don't let nobody come in the room. He said, yo, I'm going in the room to get my cousin out. And I said, bro, you ain't going in the room to get your cousin out. They told me nobody could go in the room. So he said, I don't care who you are, what you doing like that. I'm going to get my cousin. He went to go and try to open the room. I grabbed his ass, joked him up, and slammed him on the piano. And the next thing you know, Puff and this artist run out the room naked. And so then I said, I see the artist trying to grab a towel. Puff didn't give a shit. And the artist like, yo, what's wrong? What's going on? What's going on? He's like, yo, Gene, that's my cousin. And I was like, yo, my man, he was trying to get in the room and y'all told me don't let nobody else come in, let nobody come in this room. Jesus Christ gonna have to come take the, Puff no, Jesus gonna have to take the air out my body if anybody coming in that room. And Puff just looked at the artist and the artist said, you ain't wanna come up in there? It was a lot of freaky shit going on.
According to reports, the well-known figures on the alleged list were believed to benefit from their association with Combs due to his high-profile contacts. The list also reveals that Combs' associates were given a special ring as part of their circle. Various celebrities were reportedly invited to the so-called freak-off sessions in exchange for being recorded and filmed. That's all for today's video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.